There were no royal carriages, no balcony appearance, no cheering crowds. Instead, Princess Catherine stood quietly at the finish line. After climbing 3 of Britain's highest mountains in less than 24 hours, almost nobody knew she was doing it until it was already over. But this wasn't simply a hiking challenge. It wasn't about setting a record, and it wasn't about proving anything to the public. Because waiting at the finish line were the people who had helped her through one of the hardest chapters of her life. Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, her parents, and her brother James. To many people, it looked like a family celebrating the end of a remarkable challenge. But the real story had started long before anyone set foot on a mountain. To understand why this moment meant so much, we have to go back to a very different day. In March 2024, Princess Catherine released a personal video message that surprised people around the world. She revealed she had been diagnosed with cancer and had begun preventative chemotherapy for one of the most photographed women in the world. It was an unusually personal moment. She asked for privacy so she could focus on her treatment and spend time with Prince William and their 3 children. For months, public appearances became rare instead of royal engagements. The focus shifted to recovery. During that time, messages of support arrived from across the world. World leaders, charities, and millions of people wished her well. But one message stood out. It came from her younger brother, James Middleton. He shared a childhood photograph of the 2 of them hiking together, alongside the picture. He wrote, "Over the years, we have climbed many mountains together. As a family, we will climb this one with you." At the time, many people saw those words as a simple message of encouragement. No one knew they would carry an entirely new meaning just over a year later, because Princess Catherine wasn't preparing for a public comeback. She was preparing for something much more personal. As her recovery progressed, Princess Catherine slowly returned to public life. There were carefully planned appearances, national celebrations, and official royal duties. Each visit showed another small step forward. But behind the scenes, another project was already taking shape. It had nothing to do with palaces, nothing to do with ceremonies, and nothing to do with royal tradition. Instead, it focused on a cause that had become deeply personal: the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, the same hospital where Princess Catherine had received treatment, rather than simply becoming a spokesperson. She chose to take part in one of Britain's toughest charity challenges, the famous 3 Peaks Challenge. 3 mountains, 3 countries, 1 continuous journey. Ben Nevis in Scotland, Scafell Pike in England, Snowdon in Wales, nearly 23 miles on foot, more than 10,000 feet of climbing, all within 24 hours. Rain, steep trails, changing weather, and very little time to rest. There were no major media announcements before it began, no countdown, no television crews following every step. Most people only learned what Princess Catherine had accomplished after the final mountain had already been climbed. And that's when the photographs from the finish line began appearing around the world. But those pictures revealed something that many people completely missed. The photographs quickly spread across newspapers, television, and social media. At first glance, they looked like simple celebration pictures. But the more people looked, the more they realized this wasn't really about hiking. It was about who was standing beside Princess Catherine. Prince William was there, welcoming his wife after one of the most demanding physical challenges she had completed since returning to public life. Their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, were also waiting at the finish. It was a rare family moment, captured away from palace balconies, state banquets, and official ceremonies. Then people noticed someone else: James Middleton, the same brother who, more than a year earlier, had promised, "As a family, we will climb this one with you." Standing beside his sister at the finish line, those words suddenly carried a completely different meaning. The promise wasn't just remembered, it had been lived. Princess Catherine's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton, were there as well. For years, They had remained largely behind the scenes, supporting their daughter away from the cameras. Now, they were part of one of the happiest moments of her return. And perhaps that's why these photographs resonated with so many people. Not because they showed royalty, but because they showed something everyone understands: the importance of family during life's hardest moments. There was another reason this challenge stood out. Princess Catherine wasn't representing a fashion brand, launching a campaign, or attending a formal royal event. She was supporting the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, the same hospital where she received treatment. That connection transformed the challenge into something deeply personal. Instead of speaking about recovery, she demonstrated it. Not with headlines, not with speeches, but one step at a time. Across 3 mountains, through changing weather, for a cause that had changed her own life. And perhaps that's why the challenge remained so quiet until it was over. The focus wasn't on publicity, it was on the mission. Today, Princess Catherine has returned to many of her public duties. She continues supporting charities, meeting communities, and carrying out her role as Princess of Wales. But this particular moment feels different, because it wasn't measured by applause, or headlines, or royal tradition. It was measured by resilience, by gratitude, and by the people who quietly stood beside her, long before the cameras arrived. Sometimes the most meaningful victories aren't the ones celebrated the loudest. They're the ones that remind us how far someone has traveled, without ever needing to say a word. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more fact-based royal family documentaries built on verified reporting. And tell us in the comments, which moment meant the most to you? The climb itself, or the family waiting at the finish line? Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next documentary.